Welcome back to the late day wrap up where we focus on all of the major US dollar pairs. And of course, this is secondary to the information that was provided in this morning's video. If you want the more in-depth information rather than like the lightning round, if you want to call it that, kind of a silly name and very uncreative, but whatever the fuck, I haven't found a better one just yet. Then definitely check out that video. But right now we're just going to be spitfiring it out and start off with DXY as always. We do see that this reversal actually is in progress. And that really does call into question that this is a macro reversal. However, it is certainly a short-term and medium-term reversal. And I would be having a target up towards about 91 and a quarter right now. As you can see on the daily, it does look like it is putting in an inverted head and shoulders, and it's actually resolving that, or in the process of resolving that, I would say. Further confirmed above the just above 91 bucks, it looks like, which will have a measure move, as you can see right here, all the way up to about past 92 and a quarter, almost all the way to about 92 and a half. It's very interesting because that's actually where our major last breakdown was. That made me a lot more bearish on this one for the long term, of which that did play out. And now what happens? Well, we get a bit of a corrective bounce, but I'm hesitant to say that this is going to be a macro reversal just because the last macro reversals that we've seen on this asset in the past, going back onto this one over here in 11, this one over here in 08, this one over here in 95 and 90, took about 3 months or more, as you can see on the lows, and this one over here only taking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, working on number 7 right now, and it looks like it's in the process of actually moving. So that is going to put some downwards pressure on anything that does trade against DXY, of course, anything that's against the dollar, like euro dollar, for example. Finally, motherfucker, come down to daddy. Be looking for this one to trade back down to like 120 over the next few weeks, but not the focus of this video. Anyways, go back on over here and let's go check out traditional markets. I want to start off with SPY just because I think SPY is a little more obvious. I believe we came in this morning saying short term a little bit of upside. However, I would ultimately be looking for medium term and long term based off the weekly closures to come down once again. And it looks like we did get a bit of a bounce here. I think I was saying a little bit more north, anywhere around 3750 to 3800, kind of a big range there, but ultimately the direction is down. NASDAQ, kind of same thing. I wouldn't be surprised if this one does pop up and maybe even test around like anywhere around like 13 wait, no, we said 13,000 bucks this morning. So with that in mind, I'd actually be pulling out the weekly right now, and I just think SPY's more obvious chart. Put in a bearish engulfing right here, also confirming 1, 2, 3, 4 drives of bearish divergence. I do think that this one trades down to 3,600 at the very least over the next few weeks. Where does that account for on NASDAQ? Probably somewhere around about 12,400 to 12,500-ish region over the next few weeks. So I am a little bit more downside imposed on these ones as well. Same sort of divergences present here, although not as confirmed, funnily enough. But I do put weight on SPY, of course. Anyways, moving on to where's my gold? Where's my Goldilocks? There it is, 1861. Still in the process of looking like it wants to reverse here. And it didn't really give us much last week. It neither confirmed nor denied a reversal here, or confirmed or denied this as a local low. But I do like the way that it's opened up this week thus far. I want to see it take out the high of this consolidation thus far, which is 1875, spot 736. If it can do that, I would be looking for a quick move up to about 1900, and then probably does play out a small pullback from there with continuation implied towards 1950 over time. So right now, yeah, would I be staying with that? Yeah, I would be staying with that, as it actually has put in a higher low here as well. So fire enough. Anywhere above this high, then yes, I would be looking for extension. At the very least 1900, probably even 1950, and then we'll talk about further targets on top of that if necessary. Moving on to, is it Bitcoin time? I think it's Bitcoin time actually. All right, so on this morning's video, we did say, well, not necessarily like too gung-ho about the short-term timeframes right now. I don't feel like too compelled by them. If I did have to call it, I'd be looking for a little bit of downside, and I think that we're in the process of seeing that right now. Looks like we did get that rejection at 34,500, the pivot to the upside, of course. And so with that in mind, if we test the upside, probably going to go test the downside. In this case, where is our downside? I mean, it's still somewhere around anywhere between about 31,000 and 31,500-ish region down around here. So I do think that move is looking like it probably does want to happen. Again, CME was the canary in the coal mine, as I fucking stutter around my words. But I would be looking for a move down to the 200 simple and 200 exponential moving average on the 4 hour here for CMEs and fill at the bottom side of that. Again, make no mistake on it though, I am not bearish on the whole formation. I look at this as more or less reaccumulation within this range. Also gonna be the 55 on the daily as well for spot price action. All of this looks more or less fine to me. Again, as long as this level is held on the daily, you can just use the 55 or the last closing low right here for a breakdown. If that does happen, I'd still be looking for 23 to 24,000 bucks. Not necessarily that I'm looking for that to happen. In fact, fact, I don't think that that happens, but if it did, I would. At the same time, while I do think that we test somewhere around the downside here, do you think that it very likely turns into an opportunity? And based off the higher term timeframes like the weekly, monthly, I do give credence to at least upside on the first pass. So at the very least, a bouncy bounce right there. But for right now, keep in mind that actually this did confirm a little bit of bearish divergence according to Caretaker right there. More importantly, we do see that actually, yes, it certainly did. Yeah, our house on our side. Yep, there we go. And also 4-hour Stokes. What do we see? They're actually going to turn down below 32.5. So if we actually do get a closure below there, which kind of looks like it's probably going to at least try for that area, then yes, I'd feel very confident with looking for a move down just below 31,000 bucks actually on a wick, then come back to it after that. So I think with that said, or actually a lot of people have been asking about Ethereum as well. Bitcoin takes a little bit of a downside here. Where would Ethereum land? Probably around the 4-hour 200 simple and 200 exponential moving average as well. That is anywhere in the low 1200 region, anywhere between 12 and 1250. I don't have like a specific area for that in mind, just because I really like, I think it's just easier to watch Bitcoin right now, but you still have your higher lows as long as you're above 1111. So I look at that as more or less telling, and I look at that as more or less bullish as long as that condition is met. Doesn't mean that it can't be undone, just like Bitcoin below 31,000 bucks. But if that does happen, that does switch my bias to bearish, and I look for moves down to 900 bucks would be the first target, and then 750 would be the second target. So keep that in mind as this one does move onwards and forwards. This video was helpful in some way to you and didn't waste too much of your time. With that said, I want to salute you. Take care, and until next time.